Excited to be here. We're going to get started here, get settled here. I'm going to bring in Luis just to really get things moving. Of course, we are just starting. It's just the start of the hour. So we're going to give people a few minutes to be able to come into the room. But Luis, what's going on?
Hi, Nick. Thanks for having me. I am looking forward to this session. Yeah, it's a very exciting time to be involved in a new technology, and crypto and NFTs have been around for a while, but for most people it's new. And if you're here, if you're one of the 9 people on this session right now, you are early. Even though you may have heard about this for a while and feel like you're behind, you're very early. Most people in the world are just now starting to hear about it. I actually heard an interesting statistic yesterday that something like 16% of people have now have some familiarity with crypto beyond just hearing about it. So that's a quickly growing number. That's surprising. But most people aren't familiar yet with NFTs. You're in good company. Again, you're early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're early, and I think the thing that we want to make sure that people understand with Founders Live is, hey, sometimes this might be confusing. It might be like, what are these things? Company colors. What are these letters? NFT. Well, first of all, this is why we do this. We do these sessions so that we can help people understand. More importantly, we are pushing the limits here. We are on the cutting edge. We want to be innovative, and we want to be the leaders in that. And so we're here to help you understand that today. And also, hey, this is a group conversation. First of all, as we're still having people flow in, which will happen. We've got 11 in here right now, and I'm sure that we'll have more people coming in through the hour. But there is a chat box, of course. Say hi. Feel free to say hi. Feel free to submit a question through the chat box as well, and we will address them at that time. And we will make sure that we save time for questions. But we also wanted to take this opportunity to review what we have released. We have released a couple different digital assets and tokens. So we want to explain more about that. And we realize, look, because these things are so new, they're probably confusing to people, and they might not really make sense. Secondly, what we want to do is walk through the process of getting started and purchasing. The reason why that's important is because this is not simply taking your credit card and actually within 10 seconds completing a transaction. Unfortunately, the whole process and system is not fully there yet within the crypto and the NFT world that usually is transacting using Ethereum as the currency, the digital currency there to transact. So we're going to walk through that as well. Let's see. I think one more thing before we get started, I see that Gary Malcolm is on here. I wanted to introduce Gary as part of our team as well. And, Gary a while ago had mentioned he wanted to at least, we just want to bring him up and have him say hi. Him and one of our other teammates, Alex, are starting to run the Founders Live conversations and the Founders Live Academy talks that happen. So I wanted to at least have Gary say hi if he is available, and just to introduce himself and all that.
Hey, thanks, Nick. It's nice to have the day off. I appreciate you doing this little Academy Founders Live Academy session where I get to be one of the people that get to learn and grow from this, because I don't have a clue about NFTs.
Well, I hope you're taking in the wilderness and taking in NFTs, which is ironically kind of almost the opposite sides of the spectrum, which I think is funny. So, well, thank you. I'll leave you be on the trails there, but just wanted to have you say hi as an internal team member there.
Thanks, really appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have a lot to get covering and get started here. So, Luis, I'm gonna gonna pass it on to you. And first and foremost, let's really talk about, let's go from the top.
Yeah.
Let's really talk about what are NFTs, just a simple like covering and statement. What are NFTs? And then we will then go to what are these things, company colors, and then we can go into a couple steps to get started. So how about that?
Sure. Yeah, and Nick, I'm not sure how whether you mind the interruption, but if anybody has a question while I'm talking, you can unmute and ask me. I'm less going to be looking in the chat. We'll check that. I'll check that too, but pop in and ask, and I'll answer it, because chances are, there's facets I'm going to overlook since I already understand things. But also, let me clarify too that I've been in this space since. Well, I'll introduce myself. I'm a career creative agency professional. I am a strategist, but I'm also a creative. And I have been in this space, the NFT space, since January, which sounds like, not even a full year, right? But in NFT world, in Clubhouse time, in pandemic work from home time, feels like forever. So much has happened since January, and it's continually evolving and continually changing. So things that were normal even 5 months ago have moved on. This is all to say that while I'm sitting here telling you what I know, I don't know everything, and nobody is a total expert in this space. Okay, let's move on to what NFTs are. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And that's, compared to a fungible token, like currency, regular currency, a quarter, like there's a million quarters, they all have the same value, they're all interchangeable, it doesn't matter. A non-fungible token is something that is unique and specific. What's often used as an example in this is the Mona Lisa. There are a lot of, Mona Lisa is an original single piece of art. There's only one of them that exists, and you can tell who painted it and where it lives and who owns it. And it has unique special value because it is a one-of-a-kind thing. A lot of people have Mona Lisa t-shirts or prints on their wall or coffee mugs or whatever. But those are copies. You don't actually own it. And interestingly enough, those people do, sharing those things and making a thing out of that just lends more social proof and more value, more public awareness of the original piece. So basically, non-fungible tokens, one way to look at them is it is a way to prove ownership of a digital asset, or of an asset. Typically, it's digital, but you could even conceivably have you could apply an NFT to, I don't know, people are saying you could do it for real estate or for cars or for any kind of thing. The special thing here is that the record of all this exists on the blockchain. And blockchain is a nerdy word that turns a lot of people off. It's one thing that kept me actually from caring about NFTs originally, because it just seemed like another one of those like basement day trader things, and like, I don't need to know about these little shit coins and whatever else things. But blockchain essentially is just about a decentralized computing network, a decentralized database, a record of things that happen. And so the nice thing about the NFT space is that the things that you own are the person that created that thing has a record attached to it as a creator. The person that owns that thing has a record attached to it as the owner. And the transactions that happen to this thing on the blockchain are all recorded in just a ledger. It's just a list. Here's the thing, and here's what happens to it, and here's what it cost, and when, and it's all transparent, and nobody controls it. It's just because it's all decentralized. It just exists on a million machines circulated around the world, and it's just a record. So what this affords us is an opportunity to create assets and list them on a blockchain, and hopefully provide value for them and interest for people to give them a reason to care about owning them. One of the first steps here is that you'll see is NFTs are being used to trade digital art. People are, creating art and selling these things, and you could buy them, trade your cryptocurrency for it, and then you have ownership for it. As it relates to us as founders, as entrepreneurs in our kind of world, these things provide a way for us to do all kinds of things that we haven't even thought of yet. You might sell tickets eventually as NFTs. You might sell brand assets as NFTs. For Founders Live, the company colors exist as they are a visual NFT, but their main functionality is around utility. They provide access to the premium membership platform. They give you VIP privileges at events. They give you all kinds of other things. And we can do this because these things are on the blockchain. The NFTs offer programmability. Ethereum is, these are all data records, and you can build applications, websites, bots, interactions that allow you as a brand to scan who out there has ownership of the assets you've created, and you can allow those addresses extra privileges to your experiences. So we'll be using today Founders Live company colors as our main example, mostly because we created those and we want everybody to know about them. But what we're talking about here today can apply broadly to anything. So I hope what we show you kind of sparks imagination for what you can do as a founder, the things that you could offer your customers, more than just, putting out a picture of your logo and trying to sell it for $2,000, attaching some kind of reason for them to have it and some kind of utility. So we'll show how we plan to do that for Founders Live.
And Luis, I want to step in, and great explanation. I want to add to that. And for all of you, really like going into, because again, Luis just expressed his hesitation previously, and I want to express my hesitation, and he's heard me say this a lot, where I'm like, it's a picture of a rock, or like it's an ape. Like, how are people spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on that? But the further you actually uncover this whole thing, when you look at what I'm trying to do here, everyone, as we lead Founders Live and we're bringing this to all of you, what I'm trying to do is translate to more of what makes sense to the more normal group of people in the world. And I think when I look at with NFTs, it's not about the visual. Usually it's not about the art in terms of, that could be drawn. It could be like drawn by anyone, or it could be looking so very normal. Could be a rock, it could be a picture. It's the underlying, the aspects underlying it, which basically is, number one is like, it's limited. And, very much, maybe there's only 10 created, 1 created, 1,000 created. So they're limited in nature, there's scarcity involved. But secondly, the ability from having it, this asset that is on the blockchain, as Luis described, there's now an ability to determine who owns it. And by determining who actually owns it, again, you can right click and save a picture, but the blockchain allows to identify a very unique set of characters, which basically means that thing digitally is now held by this person. And the moment that is now available, so many other things can be done, and utility can be brought into the experience. So by holding something that is a digital asset, and by Founders Live being able to bring assets to you all, and if you hold them, we can say, ooh, anyone that holds this company colors has now keys to go into that room. Or we had now identified a group that has chosen to engage in something that we can give them a special surprise. or whatever. So it's an ability to aggregate and congregate a group of random people in a simple way, and then provide more value, and provide surprises, and provide experiences, and provide additional membership offerings and opportunities. So it's a really cool way. So that's what turned me on, was like, oh wait, it's not necessarily just the art. It's not necessarily just the name of the collection, like I'm a Bored Ape or a CryptoPunk. It's actually a way for an organization like Founders Live to bring something to our community and start adding unique access, utility, and value. And so what we're going to talk about, and again, just being mindful of time, this is not the only talk we're going to give, by the way. So we will cover other things over time. But what we want to do here is, obviously explaining, and if anyone has questions, keep, thinking. You can put them in the chat or whatever. But we want to shift now to, what Founders Live has created within this environment. These are our first, this is the Genesis series. These are our first of NFTs. They are experiments, and yet we've really learned a lot already. And so as Luis, I want you to kind of dive into the company colors to start with. I'm going to share my screen so that we can, check some things out. Luis, if you have a screen to share as well, like feel free to do
I was going to suggest maybe I'll just drive through. What I'd like to do for everybody is the discussion of company colors will be incidental to, they'll be the example that I'm using throughout this. But I'm going to go through, we have a help page on our NFT site about how to set up a wallet, what a wallet is, how to get it funded, and how to actually make a purchase. That's the main thing we'd like to cover here today, is just kind of those nuts and bolts of even just getting started. One thing to understand with all this is that, like, this just like getting equipped to be on the blockchain and to make purchases, it's a one-time thing. And once you've done this, then buying and doing all the other stuff that you need to do is as simple as making any other purchase. It's just that initial setup. And we recognize that, almost everybody is not yet set up. So we thought we would just guide everybody through a specific process to do this as easy as possible. And so we can get you going. So if you were to start with us or with any other project, you'd still be going through the initial setup. I also have kind of a skip section where it's like, if you already have crypto, if you have a wallet, here's how to get funded for our chain and for the stuff that we're selling. But most people will start at the beginning, and that's what I'll use here. So I'll share my screen, and I'm just going to go through our website, and we'll click through on the different things and see how it's going. And right before I get to that, by the way, I do want to mention that two other things I'd add about relevance for NFT. I won't go into it any deeper, but community actually is a thing. If you are a Founders Live holder, you belong to a Founders Live community, there's a bunch of other people that own those things, and you can be part of those, be part of that community. If you're an Atom Bomb holder, you're in the Atom Bomb Discord, and you're part of those conversations. It's a whole new world. So yes, NFTs also bring a social aspect to them, which is really fun. And a lot of people find their other people of like minds in that way. And the last thing too is NFTs have a resale market. Secondary sales is a huge reason why people are NFTs. A lot of people are in for speculation and all that stuff, but even just as a store of value, some people like to just buy things because they see that those assets increasing in value, and they want to support artists and or just have things that increase in value or have a resellability. So that's a nice angle. We'll go into all those on a different session. I'm going to share my screen now. Here we go. Hope you can see that. Let me know if you can't. This is our help site for the company colors. This is Founders Live NFTs, how to buy. You can see a spread of the cards representing the startups that are in our Live Fest event. These are the winners of the 5 regional primetime competitions. So, and one more thing to add about company colors and NFTs in general. There is a huge collectability aspect to it. If you're a shoe collector or any of these other, if you've ever some people even compare these things to Beanie Babies. Yeah, I can see how that's possible. There's a collectability angle to this. And so a lot of people just buy it for the art or for whatever it is. And they want to get like all the, all the Bored Apes that have, a trippy fur, or like all the 3D glasses apes, or they have, you have different reasons for different things. There's a lot of ways to be interested in NFTs. For us, our cards have startups, all the presenting startups in our primetime series. We have them segmented by region, you can look by country, you can look by city, you can look by industry and whatever. So those are also interesting ways to search. Okay, let's get started with how to do this. Like I said before, we're going to need an Ethereum wallet to store cryptocurrency and to manage your transactions. This is typically MetaMask. You're going to need an Openc account. That's the marketplace where these things are bought and sold. There are many other marketplaces, but this is the primary one that we'll focus on. And we also need funds to put in that wallet to make those purchases. And for us, that's based on Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency. Our collection is available on the Polygon blockchain, which is an Ethereum blockchain, but it's a layer 2. It's more ecologically friendly, and it doesn't have gas fees. So it's just one step removed from Ethereum, but the assets are convertible. All right, so again, if you're experienced with NFTs, you can skip to the funding section. We'll assume everybody's a beginner, because I'm sure most people are. That's why we're here. First of all, MetaMask. So the concept of the wallet is that these are kind of like, it's a fund storage device, but it's also it's an application that does the buying and selling, and it's the interaction with the blockchain. So you will tell when you want to buy something, you'll make a buy request, and then the wallet will ask for confirmation if you really do want to buy this thing, and you can confirm. Then the wallet does all the behind the scene negotiations with the blockchain to send your transaction and to wait for it to go through, and then to give you the feedback that it was successful or not.
Luis,
so
is it kind of like Apple Pay? MetaMask is like that's a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty similar. Apple Pay, generates tokens or unique tokens for each purchase that disguise a credit card. But it is a super, it abstracts all this back and forth of entering all this data that you normally have to do on a website. So yeah, it's a really good analogy. MetaMask is like that. It handles all this stuff for you. It's back in the day when we first had email or web servers, you used to have to type in actual numbers to access these things. And then we came up with DNS mapping, and you could have domain names instead of having to remember numbers. And that made everything easier. In a similar way as you're describing, the MetaMask wallet kind of removes you from having to worry about doing crypto wallet direct wallet address interactions, and it just gives you a graphical user interface for this. The image you see here on the left is what that looks like. My own MetaMask is right here. It's available as a browser extension, and it's also available as a mobile app. So the desktop experience is more of a plugin like this, and you navigate everything through a web browser. And if you're mobile, MetaMask has its own browser built in. We're going to focus on the desktop side of things here, but you can do these things on mobile. And for some people, it's easier to interact that way. I would say if you get to more advanced levels, like when you have to mint directly from a website, you probably want to do that through a desktop. We're going to do this all through desktop here. So I gotta speed up because I talk too long. Okay. All right, setting up a thing. So instead of going through all the steps on the website, I included a link here to set up MetaMask from their website. I'm going to click that, and we'll just go through this super quickly. It is a simple download on your browser extension. Use buy and swap tokens. We'll do all this stuff. They have a nice video here about what it is and how to use it. I highly recommend you watch it. It's pretty simple once you get yourself familiarized. What is important about MetaMask is, or what when you set up MetaMask, it's going to put you. It's an Ethereum wallet, and it's going to put you on just when you make it and set it up. It gives you it provides you an address, a public address. It provides you a private key, and it provides you what's called a seed phrase, and I think they call it a secret recovery phrase or something. I won't go into these details, but I do want to say that the most important thing, see, I'm showing you here my actual personal MetaMask. This is a public address. That's okay to share, but the other information you want to keep extremely private. The seed phrase, the private key, these are things that people will try to scam you out of, and just never, ever, ever, no matter what, give this information to other people. The public address is fine. Be very safe with these things. These things, you can't return things on the blockchain. You can't get things recovered. You can find out who stole your stuff, but there's no authority to get things back. So just be careful, manage your stuff, and you'll be okay. This wallet is already set up. There's really not a lot to setting up. You just open it up, you add an account, and it makes it, and then you have an empty Ethereum wallet with an address. Again, you can copy that address here. That's the first step, is just getting this thing installed. Pretty easy. Then for us, the next step is very important. Because we're on Polygon blockchain, that's not a default for MetaMask. The default is Ethereum. Let me click on that again. These are the networks that you can use. They have a bunch of test networks and things in here. We want to get it so that you can use the Polygon mainnet. Again, Polygon is a level 2 Ethereum. It's still Ethereum, but it's just a layer 2. In order to get this Polygon mainnet thing to appear in the browser, you can go through these little steps on this page. Basically, you add this information, and that's it. But there's even a faster way to do it if you want to skip all that. On the Polygon Scan website, at the very bottom, there's this little Add Polygon button. Click that, and it'll do it for you. So both of those are linked. It depends on how you like to go for it, whether you want to do it yourself or just have it automatically. There's also a link here if you have questions about how to use MetaMask. This is the frequently asked questions. It's not that long because there's not a whole lot to it. Again, these are instructions on how to stay safe. Go through all this stuff. Make sure you read it and understand it. That's very important. There's also a link to the support site if you have other questions. All right, so now that we have a wallet set up, and I realize we kind of glossed over that, but again, it's kind of a simple process. We need to set up an account on OpenSea, the marketplace where we buy these. So I have an account already set up, so I can't show you the setup process other than I'll show you the introduction to it because I have private, hold on, let me change the screen that I'm sharing.
Luis,
Nick, you want to pop in for a second?
Yeah, I just, we do have a question. I think it is important. Gene is asking just MetaMask, the security of it. And, just, I think that's important that we
Sure.
at least, at least talk about that it is secure, it's safe. But if you could add a little color to that.
Okay, Gene, how's MetaMask proprietary? How's it secure? It is, just like when you go to a secure website, there's the secure SSL protocols for interacting with a website that secure all your normal, regular fiat purchases. These are also encrypted interactions with the blockchain. The blockchain requires high degree, extremely high degrees, much higher than your SSL interactions, degrees of cryptography. It's all cryptocurrency cryptography. for securing those interactions. There's a lot of checksums and a lot of back and forth to make sure that these things that you are who you say you are, and it's writing to there. These guys got it down. I'd say what's interesting dichotomy here is, or paradox, maybe that's not the right word to use, but you know, there are a lot of people trying to scam you out of stuff. I don't want to put fear into you. When I say a lot of people, like, you'll occasionally get this random DM that'll say, you know, if you're on a Discord, that'll ask you to do something. And, you know, it's just like spam emails and whatever. We're used to these kinds of attempts to social engineer us. But for whatever goes on like that, you know, it's an extremely secure store of currency and data. So as long as you manage that private phrase and keep it offline or keep it somewhere that's secure, you're in good shape. I feel pretty confident. A lot of people have millions and millions of dollars in this thing, and we all use the exact same thing. The one thing that you could do that makes it even more secure, MetaMask is a hot wallet. It is a software-based wallet. There are cold storage wallets that are offline, and MetaMask can interact with those things. They're basically like offline thumb drives, essentially, that contain all your crypto information. You can move all your assets and all your crypto onto that and keep it, you know, disconnected from the internet. And MetaMask can still ask for you to insert it and interact with those things. Common names are Trezor and Ledger, I think is what it's called. I obviously need to get one. But those are highly recommended if you're concerned about security, and they are the most safe way to do that. If you have any other questions, Gene, let me know. Feel free to ask if you want to. So here's, can you see the OpenSea screen here, Nick?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the front page for OpenSea. They've got a, you know, this is the NFT marketplace. In order to set up an account, all you have to do is click on the little profile thing, and it says you need an Ethereum wallet, and here you would choose MetaMask. And if you didn't have it installed, because I'm in an incognito mode, it doesn't think I have it installed, you would install it. But once you do have it installed, it is, I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to switch back to my window. There we go. I should have just shared multiple windows in the first place. All right, so if we go to OpenSea and look at mine, once you have it, you have, it's just like kind of like a social media page. You have a profile where you can add your screen name. The screen name when you start is your same MetaMask wallet address. It looks here. I have an ENS address, so I have mine is translated into a more friendly name here. But you have just a profile, and from here you can start your buying process. Okay, that's all it takes to get an OpenSea account set up. Once you have the MetaMask wallet, it just asks you to authenticate that. You sign that interaction, and then it creates an account for you. That's it. The next thing we want to do is fund the crypto wallet to make purchases. So most when you're on OpenSea, most purchases or most NFTs are offered in Ethereum. We offer ours on Polygon. Ethereum, the reason we've done that is Ethereum has a thing called gas fees, which is, you know, you've heard of crypto miners. Mining is the way that they basically create the Ethereum, they manage the blockchain transactions. Everything on the Ethereum blockchain requires it all has to be worked on and processed by computers somewhere. And there is a small fee that's attached to those interactions. On the Ethereum blockchain, especially as the price of Ethereum rises, and more people are throwing requests and there's more demand on the network, it's kind of like surge pricing in Uber, that those fees to run those transactions are starting to increase. And when the increase of Ethereum required to make transactions coincides with increase in Ethereum price, it can be very expensive to run a transaction. Again, this changes throughout the day. In the middle of the night, gas fees are generally lower than in the middle of the afternoon. And when people are really trying to buy things, sometimes those gas fees can be incredibly expensive. You may have heard of NFT releases from Time Magazine or from any other super popular NFT project. They can go, the gas fees to buy anything can range from $200 to multiple thousands of dollars, depending on the demand. We don't want anybody to deal with that, especially because our NFTs are very, very low priced. It doesn't make sense to buy an NFT that costs $100 and pay $150 just to have the opportunity to buy that NFT. We want it to be $100. We don't want it to be $250 total dollars. So we, on the nice thing about Polygon is there are no gas fees on OpenSea. There's a tiny amount of gas fees technically, but OpenSea covers it for us. I bring this up, so we're saving money on gas fees, a ton of money. But the one thing that we have to do is convert Ethereum into Polygon Ethereum, which is also called wrapped Ethereum. It's a way of just putting a layer on that Ethereum so Polygon knows how to spend it. Very, very soon, Coinbase is going to allow us to buy Ethereum on the Polygon chain directly. No conversion necessary. You buy it there and it appears in your wallet as Polygon ETH. Currently, they don't have that capability. So we buy Ethereum on Coinbase, and then we put it through a bridge to convert it into Polygon Ethereum. Costs like $10, which is way better than spending like $150 for one purchase. $10 to do as much as Ethereum as you want to send over. Okay, so when we decide, we're at the stage of funding our crypto wallet to buy an NFT. You can do it however you want to do it. You might say, okay, I want to buy 5 things that are going to cost a total of 0.01 Ethereum. So I'm going to buy 0.01 Ethereum on Coinbase or 0.011 just to have a little extra just in case. And then I'm going to send that over. Or you might say, hey, I'm really interested in this. I'm going to buy a whole ETH of cryptocurrency, and I'll just send that all over. Either way, whatever you send costs the same to send. It's one transaction and one fee, regardless of how much you send. It's up to you what you want to do. Just make sure when you buy your cryptocurrency that you have enough to actually buy the things that you want to buy. Now, cryptocurrency fluctuates in value. Ethereum a few days ago was nearing $4,800. Today, it's closer to $4,000. Who knows where it's going to go, up or down? But once we're on the once we're on NFT world, things are priced in Ethereum, and that value, it's not like the fluctuation. A single NFT is going to change from being, at least in the primary market, it's going to stay what it was priced at. Secondary people price it whatever they want it to be. Okay, so we want to have the right amount of money. There are 2 ways to fund this crypto wallet. The first way is the easiest, fastest way. It's a tiny bit more money than what it costs to do the longer way, but I've used this a lot because it's just super easy and convenient. OpenSea has a built-in option called Moonpay. Again, Moonpay requires setting up a Moonpay account, but once that's set up, you can just use it anytime you want to use a debit card to make your NFT purchases. That information is stored. You'd say how much Ethereum you want to buy. When you either load your wallet or when you actually even just click buy now on an NFT, it says how much do you want. It puts a little charge. If Ethereum is $4,000, they kind of tend to charge like $4,100 because there's a percentage for slippage in case that value fluctuates. But this is as close as you get to using a debit card to buy an NFT, especially once it's set up. Again, I've included here steps for going to the Moonpay site or to OpenSea. How do I add funds using Moonpay? Very simple. It walks you through. You set up your little thing. You choose your option, buy with the card, enter your address, enter your email. It goes through some confirmation things. It asks for personal information, like what's your name and your email. If you want to buy a lot more, it's going to ask you more questions. You might, I've even had, because I've bought a lot, I've even had to submit, at one point I had to submit, I think like a utility bill that proved who I was and what my address was. But that's once you get farther down the road. You can make smaller purchases without a whole lot of personal information. By the way, this is also called KYC, Know Your Customer. You might hear that acronym come up. Buy with card, you go through these things, it confirms it. One thing to know when you're funding, regardless of whether you do it through Moonpay or you do it through Coinbase, you click buy now, you might have to wait for that thing to spin 5 seconds, 30 seconds. Sometimes some transactions can take a long time. It depends on how busy the blockchain is. It's not super instantaneous like it is with traditional purchases. Anyway, this page will show you what to expect and what to go through when setting up a Moonpay account. That's as simple as it gets. Once you've set up, if you've set up with Moonpay, you can go right onto the buying step. I'm going to go to option B here, funding Ethereum via crypto exchange. So for this example, we're going to use Coinbase. It's a super popular crypto exchange. It's a place where you trade fiat and you get cryptocurrency in exchange. We've got a link here that gives you a little bonus. And they're also running a thing right now where, like, through November 23rd, I think, if you buy over $100 worth of Ethereum, you're entered into a raffle to win all kinds of money. So now's a good time to start. Setting up Coinbase, again, here's the thing from their help thing on doing that. You've got to enter your basic information here. You move on to create an account, and it'll just walk you through the steps. Basically, you need to link a bank account. They use Plaid, so it's secure. Then you move your funds over and you have Coinbase. It's important to clarify here, Coinbase Exchange is different from Coinbase Wallet, same company. Coinbase Wallet is like Metamask. They're both wallets. I use Coinbase Wallet too, in addition to Metamask. Because you have money in Coinbase, your Coinbase account, you still, once you fund that Coinbase account and have your cryptocurrency, you have to send it to your wallet. So that's what we'll do next. These are the instructions on how to buy the cryptocurrency from Coinbase. It's as simple as just saying, I want to buy X amount of ETH or X amount of dollars. You can choose which way you want it to enter it. And then you just buy it and it buys it for you. You have your bank account already linked. It draws your funds directly over, and the funds appear in, again, 5 to 30 seconds. If you're a brand new customer, it takes, I think you can send, the first time you do it, might be up to 5. I cannot remember the exact number. It's not a ton of money that you can access immediately. They have to, like, verify that the funds transferred over, and generally, to be safe, you want to have funds in your account 7 days before you want to use them or transfer that Ethereum you plan to have it. The earlier, the better. Once you have a balance, then even though there might be a 7-day window on new purchases, you can, your previously cleared purchases can allow you to transfer that money as needed. But this is all to say, plan in advance when buying crypto, especially if you're going to need a lot of it. Smaller amounts, not as big a deal. So then the next step is converting regular. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, Luis, just want to give a warning here. I know that you're in the middle of this and there's just so much here. We get it. But what we want to make sure, so I'm probably giving you like a 2 to 3 minute warning so then we can cover, we want to cover what the company colors are and why people would want to purchase them. So let's just finish up here and then I'll jump in for that. Okay,
cool. We're super close. We're at the very end of step 4 here, and that's the last step. So this is converting the ETH that we bought at Coinbase into wrapped ETH for Polygon or Polygon ETH. There's a tool called the Umbria Narni bridge. There's also another bridge called at Polygon Scan, but that's slower and it costs a lot more money. This bridge here, you click to connect your wallet. MetaMask is asking me to sign it. Give that permission because I trust this site. We can send it from Ethereum to Polygon. We put in how much we want. and we tell it that we want to, we already said we're going to bridge Ethereum. We want to bridge X number of things. And then you just say, send to MetaMask, and it'll say it costs like $10 or $15 to do it. That isn't a fiat charge. That is, they'll charge that to you in Ethereum, this small amount of things. So we just need to make sure we have those. If you want to send 0.01 over, then make sure you have like 0.011 or some small amount extra always in your wallet to cover these little tiny expenses. Click to send to MetaMask and it will send that over. And then in MetaMask, you can switch from Ethereum because we already set it up for Polygon. You switch over here and you can see what you have in your wrapped ETH, WETH balance. I have a very small amount in there. So once it's bridged over, it appears in your wallet. There are other bridges as well that you can try. There's even a site like crypto.com that I haven't looked into, but you can they supposedly support buying Ethereum directly on the Polygon network, so you don't even need to use a bridge. So you basically do the steps like you do for Coinbase, but substitute crypto.com instead of Coinbase, and then you would have that money. You could send that money directly from your crypto account directly to your MetaMask wallet. The same way that the bridge process that I just showed you, except for you wouldn't be paying to bridge, you would just be sending it over and paying whatever fee it costs to transfer. Everything you do in crypto has always got a little fee attached to it, except for purchasing. So sorry, there is a step 5. Just to make sure you have the funds, you can check your MetaMask and make sure it's there. Also in OpenC, there's the little wallet button you can click and it shows you the exact same thing there. Now we're on to buying Founders Live NFTs at OpenC. And we have about 15 minutes left. So Nick, you can jump in anytime you want here. This is the easiest part. We click the button to buy. It takes you to our page. It shows you a whole layout of cards. On the left, you can choose if you want to look up by founder or by country or region or any of those things. These are fun little filter tools to narrow down what you're looking for. You can just scroll visually. There's a buy now button right on the collection page, or once you click on a card and get more detail about that card, there's a buy now button right at that card. And that's all there is. The important thing to remember is that another important thing to remember is, in order to get the utility out of these Founders Live NFTs, you need to reconnect with us and let us know that you bought them. We can see all the addresses that buy the NFTs and we can enable certain things for those. But in order to get everything that you have coming to you, come back to the page. This is linked in each of the NFTs. Give us your email address. Name is optional, but we do need your public Ethereum wallet address. Again, public, not the private one. Never share your private or your key, just your public wallet address. It'll look like OX, a million numbers and whatever, or it'll be like me and if you have an ENS address, it'll be something simple like that. Either way, you enter it there. Let us know who you are there and click submit. And that way we can make sure we start the process of bringing you into the premium membership experience. So awesome. Nick, do you want to?
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in, and actually, if you want to stop sharing your screen, I'm going to, show mine, and I'm going to walk through, just really the concept. So Luis just did an incredible job of walking you through the steps to get set up. I know that it can be confusing. I know, like, the industry is hopefully becoming more self-aware that there's a lot of difficulty here. There's hurdles, right? We're going to get through them. Thankfully, we now have this content. We got our help pages, and also you can always send us questions and we're going to find that answer for you. But, as we get to this, what are company colors and why should you all care? And why should you all purchase them? So here's what we did. As we started to evaluate how we wanted to bring in this concept of a digital asset, we initially took the the perspective of understanding like, wow, okay, we have all these unique companies that come through Founders Live every month and every week. And we looked at it and said, hey, let's just look at Primetime. And we took the 25 finalists from Founders Live Primetime and we put them in a collection, and we created a unique digital collectible, kind of like a sports card, for each one of these startups. So you'll see now, these are all the finalists, the 25 finalists in our Founders Live Primetime competition, 5 from each region of the world. And they now have a unique asset associated with them. Again, if you look at Tree Life, first of all, let's all give Luis shout outs and credit. He designed these collectible. He designed all these, and he did a great job. And so, so cool. So when you look at these NFTs and these digital collectibles, each company. And again, these are a leading indicator of where we're going, but just for right now, we've released 26, so 25 startups plus a Founders Live limited NFT. There's only 99 available of each one. It says it right there, quantity 99 available for sale. And you'll notice that these have information on them about the startup, about the founder, their industry, their location, really when they pitched. There's a QR code. You scan that, it takes you to their information, their pitch video, and their website and other things. So we created these as like a portal into those startups. Now, the unique thing here is there's kind of 2 ways to look at it. You have a choice of 26 different, like if you remember the sports cards back in the day, you would just buy a pack of sports cards and there would just be random players included in there. This is a very similar thing. This first pack of company colors are the 25 plus Founders Live, so 26 unique companies. Now, outside of the identification of each company, they all hold this right now, they all hold the same utility, meaning this. If you notice right here, 0.028 ETH, which equivalates right now, it's equivalent to $113 US. That fluctuates depending on the value of Ethereum, by the way. That's down $15 from what was even 2 days ago. So just so you know, like that could fluctuate and it could go higher, it could go lower, but if you're going to get it, you should just get these as soon as possible. But by purchasing A1 company colors for $113 US, there is a number of things in terms of utility that you get by holding the company colors. But the most important one is that by holding one of these, you qualify and you're pulled into our premium membership offering that we're starting to really roll out, and especially the turn of the year, this will become very predominant into our community. You are a premium member that's a value of $600 US. So I want to say that again. This is essentially part of our membership drive to provide the opportunity for people to join a Founders Live premium membership experience, which we have a ton of entrepreneurial training, exclusive kind of rooms and talks that I will start providing. Like there will be talks that I will be in that, some other people that are not company color holders have privy to be in. So as we continue this forward, you are getting what is valued at $600 US for $113 right now. After December 31st, so January 1st, that's no more. If you want to engage with what we are offering after the 1st of January, it's going to not be $113. It's going to be $600. So we want to make that clear. We want to make that very clear.
That, it will change after the 1st of the year. There will be a different series of NFTs. We won't raise the price on these. The price is the price. But we will not be offering them after this year. Next year will be next year and a whole different thing. it'll be a lot more money for a lot fewer privileges, or the like a premium membership NFT will just cost more. This is the super OG offer.
Yeah, the super OG offer. So, you know, and I know we don't have that much time left, so I just want to summarize this by saying these are collectibles. These are like there will not be this version coming out ever again. There will be more company colors, and that's cool in the sense that there will be new versions that have new kind of economics around them and new utility and access. Again, it's a key. It's a digital key to open different doors. And the beauty is in the future, we can literally say, oh, by the way, like literally in 3 years, this will happen where we'll be like, hey, anyone that's holding the original Genesis version of the company colors, you now qualify for that. And that could end up being a really amazing, cool thing. Like who knows what we roll out, but this is our way to be able to drop unique new value to people that actually hold them and actually have them and purchase them either now or in, you know, like the second market. But these are limited. So to do some math, there are 2,600 of all these available, 2,600. They're available now until the end of the year. We also are going to be dropping surprises for the first people that purchase them. And there's a big surprise that we're finalizing right now for the first 20 in the first group of 25% that purchase them. And it's really exciting. It's pretty cool little product, and actually a really great product that we've been working on. And so we're not going to release that yet, but the quicker and the sooner that you purchase these and be one of the first ones to purchase them, the cooler things that we are going to provide people. And so, you know, that's going to be a theme going forward as well, as we will start to drop, or, you know, the concept is airdrop, you know, unique and valuable surprises and things of that nature to holders and all that. So I know that this was a lot. Unfortunately, we are out of time. You know, I personally need to drop here in a couple minutes. I don't know if Luis, if you do have some open time.
I definitely have time. I can talk to answer any questions or just kind of like help anybody with anything here. I've got some time I can do, and I'm going to answer Gene's question about the link to purchase company colors. I'll put that in here in 1 second. Awesome.
So yeah, I would just say the summary here is we are very excited to roll these out. I know that there's some hurdles to get started. We want to be here to help you. All the emphasis I would say is, you know, if you have more questions, let us know. But if you're ready, jump on these. The first 10 that purchase these, or the next 10 that purchase these, I'm going to drop a very exciting surprise to you. So that's all I'm going to say. And I want to keep it a bit of an intrigue secret, but if you get on this, you're one of the first 10. It's going to be a really, really fun surprise for you. With that being said, just more questions here, either here or feel free to email us. This is a recording. We're going to edit it a little bit, and then we're going to provide it back. So you'll be able to go back and say, oh, what did Luis say there? What was that? And so this literally will be something that you can refer back to. So with that, everyone, I want to say thank you. I have handed off.
Can you pass me over the whatever,
I believe I
host,
did.
host chip, so I can keep this going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
We're set.
So I need to go. You know, Larry has some questions here. Larry, feel free to send to Luis your questions or post them in general and all that. But everyone, still good to see you. We're really excited. And hopefully you are one of the Genesis holders of our NFTs. So I'm going to peace out. Got to go.
Okay. Are we all still here? Cool. Nick is leaving. I'm going to, first I'm going to answer a question from Larry in the chat. If you don't mind me sharing, Larry, I know that was a direct message question.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
thank you.
I appreciate it.
So Larry was wondering Larry asks, So Polygon sits on top of Ethereum blockchain. Does that mean the Polygon blockchain keeps track of ownership, but it would not be reflected on the Ethereum blockchain? Going back to the you pay for what you get theory, that it's better to pay gas fees to be on the Ethereum blockchain rather than a secondary blockchain. That is correct. Currently, Polygon, while it is a layer 2 Ethereum solution, it is its own world in terms of it's its own chain. So the Ethereum blockchain doesn't see it. To me, a chain is a chain, but again, I have a relative, you know, I'm not a super crypto aware person. I have a perspective of only the past 11 months, and you know, my individual way of seeing this thing. There are people who are Ethereum maxis. There are people that see the Ethereum as the original chain for NFT sales, and that everything that exists within Ethereum is kind of like its own special provenance. Yeah, I mean, that can be that's a way of looking at it. For me, I like I like Polygon because it's still supported by OpenC. It's still Ethereum based. Apparently, they're working on a bridging mechanism so that NFTs can be transferable across the chains much more readily between Polygon and Ethereum. But everybody's going to find their own way of viewing chains. We are going to offer some assets on the Ethereum chain. We're putting out a one-of-one photo of Nick on the very first day of Founders Live ever back in 2014. We're going to release that on the Ethereum chain because it's going to be a much higher price piece. And when things are really high priced, because it's going to come with a very special bonus for buying it. If it's basically when you buy this Ethereum thing, you get an advisory seat on the board. So it's just kind of in addition to all the premium offerings and being first access to everything we have and all the bonuses. It's kind of a cool way to do a higher priced NFT. That will be on the Ethereum chain, because that is when you're paying $100 or $200 on something that's multiple ETH, it doesn't really matter. I hope that answers the question somewhat. I know that a lot of this stuff is confusing. There's so much to talk about, and I tend to give a lot of detail, but that's how I see it. Grayson asks a question, Luis, if I'm not a collector, then this is really not for me, right? So that's kind of the fun thing of this. You can be in it for a collector. You can also be in it just to use the utility. If you want to be a member at Founders Live and get access to all the stuff that the premium membership is going to offer in 2022, you can go to the website and you can pay $600 to be that member. You can buy the NFT through the end of 2022. Hey, Nick is back.
I actually have to jump in. I'm so sorry. I have a podcast recording that needs to start right now, but this is my
your room.
We need to stop this, unfortunately. So I'm gonna I'll give you 2 minutes and then figure out a way to, like, what do we do next? But I apologize.
Sure. Cool, guys. We can we can wrap this up, and we'll schedule another help session. If we had our Discord running, we could run over to the stages over there. I'm also going to be running some Clubhouse sessions, some Twitter spaces. So follow us and watch for announcements on more discussions around this. And you'll hear other people talking about it, and not just me, and you'll get a whole new perspective on what this is. Sometimes it just takes hearing the right person say it the right way, and it starts to lock in for you. Thank you, Mike, for coming. Thanks, everyone. Grayson, you said don't wrap up. The one thing, so you don't have to be a collector. You can be in it for just being a Founders Live member. You could do it for speculation. I'm not saying these NFTs will go up in value, but I look at them as kind of like rookie cards. If you could buy Mark Zuckerberg's first pitch or his first startup card, and then he moves on to Facebook or it was for Facebook, that'd be a pretty cool NFT to have someday, to say like, hey, look, in 2021, I have the startup card for this company. I think there's potential for things, but again, all these things, whether or not they increase in the secondary market, they have value now for membership. So you get all kinds of privileges going forward. I'm going to get off because Nick's got to use the thing. Thanks everyone for coming. And I would love to talk to you more. I will, I think I got to things in the chat. Grayson, I'm happy to speak with you more if you want to. I am Lucky Lou on Twitter, LuckyLou. Thanks a lot. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming.